Welcome back to another analysis for the upcoming data release coming up in just a matter of 20 minutes. You can see that core retail sales and retail sales coming in few minutes, and I'm looking at here few entry in the market as it is currently in a trend, looking for some trading opportunity here in this market to see that where the market is currently heading. Thanks for joining here. We are beginning another live trading session. I missed the previous one during the London session, but back on trading finally. Welcome. Thank you very much for the confirmation. We are here back, and if you guys look at the market is trending, and we can see the price from this key area of value started to reverse back down, and I'm waiting for an entry. If you guys look at coming up in 10 minutes, there's a data release coming, and that's a very important price action that the market is forming. We can see that there is a liquidity grab. The market started to return back below here, below to this support level. That's what we're looking at in this market to see that potential trading opportunity in this market. So looking at, if you look at the intraday 4-hour chart, we see the price has reached that resistance line and entirely rejected back below. So are you guys ready for an entry here? I'm planning for a sell entry of this level here, and from this high potentially to this low here. Today the market is gold is showing bearish, and if you look at WTI slowly pushing back to the upside, oil price is slowly going up. That might create a bearish pressure on gold. Are you with me? So you will be looking at the analysis. If you look at the daily chart, the market is slowly breaking that low, and I'm waiting for guys to give a thumbs up. Have you liked this stream? And we see there is a significant liquidity sweep of this daily important liquidity zone. The market started to break below from that level, so you could see the price action to revert back down below here, below to this support area. Alrighty, so looking at here in this market for a potential trend continuation back below, and this is a very important support area that we are looking at. And if you look at, there was a breakout earlier, false breakout that you can see from this level, and of the false breakout the market has returned back down here, returned back below to the support. And that's what, if you look at of this support, the market now slowly going back here, back to the upside for a pullback, and I'm looking for a sell entry as soon as the data comes. We have only 8 minutes for the data to be coming up, and this is an important data. Let's look at the calendar, which can give us now a potential sell entry. 7 minutes remaining for core retail sales and retail sales in just a matter of 7 minutes, and then we'll see that later today also Walsh, Fed Chairman Walsh, designated Walsh testifies. So there is in this zone, if you look at, this is a new I think, yeah, so it's a new Fed chair. There is a high level of engagement coming in the market potentially, and that's what you can see. There is a significant reflection in the market. We want to take few positions during that before and after this speech. So I'm just waiting for the data to come up, and once we see the data has come out, we will be on the trade, and that's what I'm looking at. So if you are ready, for those who are ready to enter, I would like you to guys to like this stream, so do you know that you're ready and you are fully engaged, fully focused. If you like this stream, and I have 2 seconds pause to make sure, as YouTube algorithm wants to know that. Very good. Very good. I see it's pushed up. Thank you. Now we see that there was a false breakout above this level. All right. I always focus on the false breakout because whenever you see the false breakout, it's a sign of further rejection here. We see there is a candle close coming on the 5-minute chart. I would love to sell this candle, but I'm not going in yet. We are not going in yet. Why? Because there is a news coming. I don't want to get up, get out with the spike, but I'm ready for an entry as soon as it appears in the market. And looking at here, this is a pretty narrow doji from the 5-minute chart. The market might try to push that back above, and with the news we could see the price action to eventually revert back below in that area. Okay, so we will be looking at in this area. This is a lower time frame price action. The price might try to push back up if the data spike up the market. We'll be looking for sell. And daily price action that you can see just before the data, we have still 5 minutes. Let's do a complete multiple time frame analysis, both technical and sentiment analysis that you can see here. This is the daily price action where there is a daily liquidity sweep. The market has crossed this daily high where there is a significant amount of liquidity grab, and off that liquidity grab the market got that rejection of this zone here, and that's a key level. If you look at, this is the previous daily high, and what you can see here, the market has crossed the daily high. It triggers the massive amount of liquidity of that level, and the price has rejected back below, and that rejection below to this zone here on XAUUSD may trigger further lower price here, as if you look at 10 and 20 MA and there is an imbalance. You can see there is a pretty long weak candlestick pattern on the daily. Chances that this market will drop further lower from the technical point of view. Before the data, also would like to look at the sentiment. What is the current sentiment in the market? We can see that quite a few high impact news currently influencing the market, and also we could see significant move. Looking at one of just now, I think it's an 1 hour ago, there is a Truth Social post from President Trump saying that Iran has violated the ceasefire numerous times. Okay, so that's a one kind of, I would say, that warning from him. That's looking at that there is only one line. He usually writes a long Truth Social, but that's a one line, and he tried to say that Iran has violated ceasefire numerous times, and with an exclamation mark on it. And I would take it really seriously, because usually he posts long an explanation, but looks like that it's a very short phrase that he wanted to say that Iran has violated numerous times. So that's what for me is. And if you look at gold started to move, and also what do you see on oil price? That oil price also started to bounce back to the upside. So this is a potentially, look at the DXY also trying to push back to the upside. If you look at here, DXY this hour as well, the market is trying to move upside here from that zone. All right, so that means gold is just trading opposite direction of DXY as well as oil. So there is a potential, because we have only, I think there was a deadline for the ceasefire, so that might be ending tomorrow. In my zone, in your zone could be different, but it's very nearing. There is a potentially, I think, anything can happen, but so far what we see, there might be a resumption of the war, and that's basically that means resumption. Come on. So there might be resume in the war. So that has given what I think that the traders are potentially interpreting that that news as a potentially what I would say that the war alert. What do you think? Share your thought. Thank you very much. What's your bias on today's market? So from sentiment perspective, that I would say that currently gold is bearish, as DXY might go up, oil might go up. So gold, that means that solid oil might be, or liquid gold, coming down here. So that means if the market is breaking any of this key level, that means going to break any of this key level, and the data has come out. Let's see that what's happening here. Look at the calendar. Okay, so you see that core retail sales has got up significantly, and retail sales also. So this is a sign of strength in economy. So that has given potentially, I think, boost on DXY. Yeah, so DXY has bounced off that level. So basically, if we look at the fundamental, that means the data showing that strength in economy. So that is boosting the DXY momentum. And so if the DXY is going up, gold is potentially coming down. So we can see that reflect that data in the chart. So if we look at the DXY move and going back to the gold here, so we are looking at selling opportunity on gold from the technical as well as the fundamental. We can see that along with the sentiment, if we align these three analysis, that for me today so far we can see that selling pressure on gold, and we will be looking at sell entry along the way. If you look at this is the resistance level, and there is a significant downtrend also we have seen so far in that zone that might break that market back below here in this market, and we will be looking at potential selling opportunity along the way. All right, so let's look at here in this area. Now, are you guys ready for an entry? I will be focusing on a very specific entry based on risk management, based on lot sizing. So the data has a spike, created a spike downside. We want to see that proper pullback before we look at entry, as we want to enter from the key area of value that has given a proper confirmation here that could bring that market back below of that support level. Okay, so you are looking at here from this high. This is a 20 EMA retest that we can see the market might break below. Okay, the price has reached very important resistance level after this is spiked. So if you look at, this is the 5 minutes candlestick pattern. This is a significant move up here, and let's let it push back to the upside. The market might remain significantly unpredictable at the moment, but going back to the upside can provide potentially, I think, that selling opportunity. Let's see that where you can place our possible entry. Here I will be using pending order. All right, so of this level, from this zone, from this 20 EMA, placing here, we can go for a sell by market. Yeah, it's at the level, so I will be going for a sell by market here, and make sure you also calculate the lot sizes. And I'm short on gold off this level here. We had earlier one trade today. a little bit to the little higher here. 4792 as sell. There is a higher volatility, so there might be some move, and TP will be keeping that lower here. Pretty bigger 5 minutes candlestick pattern that has formed here, and I would be looking to see the market to eventually deepen for a pullback. A pretty long 5 minutes bearish candle close here, and I think there's a higher chance for the market to deepen further below. And we have entered in a zone where there is a higher area of value. They're looking to see the market to eventually break that low, as there is a significant rejection. But at the same time, if you look at the bigger picture here from the 4-hour perspective, the market has reached that zone where there is an important area of value. So if you look at the 30 minutes here, this is a very long rejection of this liquidity sweep, and so from the 4-hour, there you can see the market has tested the lower shadow. This is if you look at, there is an increased volatility coming in this market at the moment, and that you can expect the market to move in many direction. If you look at the 5 minutes here, this candlestick pattern after this previous one, we can see that trying to the pullback here, and we'll be looking at for this price action, but I think to return back again to the direction of the trend. This is what the entry is based on for this possible false breakout to the upside. And if you look at here, the market has reached that order block. Okay, so if you look at, this is potentially they're expecting to be a false breakout, and that might bring that market back below. And if you look at here, you can see this is like to see the market is closing below here or in that zone. That might give that market momentum again to drop down here. And all right, so getting some reaction of that level. Once the market drop to this level, we will be taking profit here at the 60 pip, and then we will be re-entering again as soon as we can see further possibility here in that market. Awesome, it's coming down and I'm holding on to the trade. If you guys are with me, say yes. And I'm setting a TP at 4778. One more drop can give a direct TP hit. I'm not closing it. I just open another one. Cool. And it's coming back below here that you can see. Awesome. Are you guys with me? Enjoying the trade? Let's see that. Let's catch this one. This is a news drop. There's a volume in the market, and I love to trade this kind of market when there is a volume. And let's see that how many peep we are running here at the moment. 37 peep profit running, and one more drop back below can give us the full TP hit. Though some might say that there might be an inverted head and shoulder. Let's see that. No, I think we are in a very important area of value, and that trade is important to see. The market is going back to the downside here to hit the TP. Cool. One more drop, and that might smash the TP here. Awesome. I'm out with that TP hit, which has gone back to nearly to 62 pip profit target hit. The first trade that we have taken today in this market. Awesome. So you have these weeks 68 p plus, 26 plus, 29 p plus, 30 p plus, 86 p plus, 40 p plus, 170 p plus, 88 p minus yesterday, 120 p plus, now 62 p plus. Let's look for the next one. As a trader, you have to be hungry. Right? That's what we need to know. Keep trading, keep learning. Now I'm looking for the next one, but I would like to see a feedback here for those who are trading in that area. Share your thought and opinion, traders. Thank you very much. Two trades today we have secured, and that's really great. Alright, so you can see the market now trying to pull back, and we have taken that move of this level to drop down back below to our from the entry to the profit target. Now we have taken the trade, we have taken the profit. Now what we need to look at, traders, here for further entry. And before we look at the further entry, we will be looking at the potential analysis again. To have a breath is important, to have a deep breath. Make sure you like this stream and say yes if you have taken. And in addition to that, also make sure you like this stream, and I believe that you guys enjoying the live session that I'm doing every single day. Now looking for our further trading opportunity next, but before we go to the next, would like to look at here for the potential setup, the next one when coming. Thank you very much. All right, so and now we will be looking at the next setup, but at the same time also let's analyze the trade, that what makes us to take this trade, which is important to look at, that what makes us to take the trade, and what was the education or the lesson behind the trade. And this is, you know, if you guys looked at, I'm trading now years of time, hours of live session. If you look at my channel, go back to the channel, you might see that I think the maximum number of live session you might find here in that channel, and that comes with a vast experience, hours of time that I have spent in front of the chart to see how the market behave. Guys, keep in mind that this you cannot learn by or from anywhere, because this is a live market data. The live observation comes only from the live. Okay, so if you look at that live observation, right? You need to look at that live observation where you can see that how the market behave in a specific time. The market is, I consider traders like a living organism, right? The market vibrate all the time, right? How that is vibrate. Let's go to the 1 second chart. And you'll see that how the market really behave. You see that? It's like a pulse. Every second you have a pulse. The market also every second has a pulse. Exact like the market. There is a wave, right? And the pulse is constantly vibrating. And therefore, trading in the market, especially financial market, is very, very rewarding if you can read the market data. And to do that, it's freedom. When you learn to trade, you start to see the things very differently, and that's gonna make a significant difference in your trading. It doesn't require a lot of learning. You just need a little commitment and simple strategy, right? One very important strategy that I use, I give you guys also, to trade from the breakup structure, right? If you look at that here, you can see that from this level, the market has gone back to the upside with one straight single move, right? Which is very important to that level. One straight single move back to the upside, and that is key. From this support, the market has reached that level where there was a previous drop, and it's a downtrending market, because the market has reached that level with a larger ATR. There is a potential for rejection, and we didn't take a large profit target. It might come further, but we are using the concept of probability. If you have a maths subject in your school, probably you have learned the permutation and combination. Have you had studied that mathematics, that in a branch in some year 10, 11 school mathematics? So if you understand that the concept of probability is, you want to enter off a zone where the market to reach a very high probability move, right? Let's say almost 90%. It is possible. If you pay attention, you can catch the 90% probability trade. 90% probability trade means that the possibility that to occur is 9 out of 10. That means if you take the similar situation, if you replay the similar situation for 10 times, 9 times it's gonna play out. That is called the 90% possibility. So if you look at that, we placed our pending order here. Why? Because this is the previous resistance here, which is here. Now most trader here might think of, okay, this is a retest and it failed, it might go up, which happens sometime. But in that scenario, I am taking on a retest as a sell trade. Why? Because It's a concept of false breakout. Concept of false breakout. That means that because there is a one single move back to the key level, the market has extended back to the upside. The chances for this price action to create it as a false breakout is very higher. And with that possibility, with that probability, the market to drop to that level is higher. So the probability is very important. If you want to know more about probability, look at that. It is everywhere, right? If you look at the quantum mechanics, Schrodinger's cat experiment, right? It's a thought experiment, but one of the famous thought experiment is that Schrodinger said, if you put a cat in a box and close it down for a few days, what is the probability of that cat to be living or dead? And we mostly go for a conclusion, but it's a probabilistic approach, right? Because the cat may be dead or may be alive, and it's both at the same time, right? So that means when you enter the trade has the component of both winning and losing at the same time, but we are looking at the higher probabilistic of happening, because when you observe, there will be only one outcome, right? When you open the box, there is only one outcome. But when you're not observing, it is in a superposition. That means all the possible state remaining in a pact of probability, which is 0 and 1, right? 0, which is in a, that means wave is everywhere, right? So that's where, if you look at the same thing is happening this is a kind of, the market is in like an universe where you can see that things happening. If you look at that, everything in this universe, you can apply it in the market, because the market is a combination of people's thinking and belief at the same time. So now looking at here, you can see the market in that zone here. This is a consolidation. The market has broken back below to this level. This is the zone that has a very high probability for the market to come back down here. And also the market moves, if you look at that, based on belief, right? How the people think. So some people might be selling off this level for the false breakout, and some might be going long off this level, thinking of it as an inverted head and shoulder. So there might be some buyers coming here, so that will reduce the selling pressure. But in this zone here, this is a pure imbalance in the market, which has a higher probability of selling pressure. That's what we are using, the concept of probability and also liquidity in the market. Now going back here in this area. All right, so here is, if you look at that, there is a drop, sideways market, looking for the market to eventually break below of that level. Alrighty, so we are now waiting for further entry opportunity. We had a few positions taken out and 2 trades so far, and looking for more. As we see, there is a higher growth that we can see on the safe havens and so therefore gold also considered safe haven. At the moment in this situation, if you look at the war, there is the oil is involved. There is a price of oil is now trying to pick up, so that is basically putting that XAUUSD in a bearish trend. Let's have a music here, and then we will be looking at further entry. How's your trade? Let us know. We have gained 60 pip here, and looking for, if you look at here, it's creating a narrow price action and looking for pullback again before we look for another entry here. Okay, so you can see after break of this high, the market slowly trying to turn back down below. That might take the price action to lower further, and that might create a new lower low and can potentially continue to trend back down here. Could even lower further in that area. If you look at here, I said this is another bearish price action. That is a sign of trend continuation further back below, and that might lead the price further lower back below to create a new lower low. Now I always look at the probability. This is here, when you secure profit, your account grows, right? That's what you need to focus on. Taking profit, right? Taking for profit is very important. Stop loss important, taking profit also important, right? Because otherwise you won't get that enough drive and motivation to do the things that you need to do. It's important that take profit and also trade according to the strategy. Do you have any re-entry? Yes, we will be looking at. We are looking at a new trade. Yeah, of course, we will keep trading. We'll opening few position along the way. And this is what we are looking at for further entry. We'll be looking at the re-entry, and if you look at this is the 5 minutes price action, the market has tested this 10 and 20 EMA, and the potential for the price action to deepen here further. For us to be able to look for further entry, and you can see the market is slowly creating and building its momentum back below. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. We are here growing every single day and trading in the live market, right? So this is where we trade the real strategy with in the live market. So you guys, and I'm sure that you're enjoying every single day trading. So the only thing that makes sure that stay patient for the right entry, right? here you open in all live session every day positions. The only thing that you need is keep your profit intact in your trading account. Sometime it might be coming to over trade, FOMO trade. The goal here is to look at the trade to enter in the right time. So this is the current trend line that I am looking at, and we'll see that how the market interacting to that level, and then we will be looking at further entry opportunity. Okay, so it's breaking out here of that and might bring the new trading opportunities. Is there any speech coming? I think it's on in an hour later. Speech coming later today. Fed chairman designated or testify. So this is it's not a speech, so let's say the resource release testimony. These are some of the details that coming later today. And this hour is also significant volatility, the volatile hour, and breaking out here now, potentially bringing further entry opportunity. We saw that there is a trend line break. Ready for another entry, 5 minutes price action. Okay, here getting rejection of this, and we will be looking for, I'll be looking for another sell entry of this level. This will be sell by market. Again, we will be targeting here very tight entry. This is the second entry that I am placing, only 60 pip stop loss, the second trade, and once the market breaks below, we'll be taking this sell as soon as the market falls down back below. Okay, so I will keep little wider stop loss here. The market might, because my entry is going above this level now, we'll be placing the stop loss here nearing to 61 pip to 60 pip. So here is if you look at here, the market is pushing it. This will be a sell by market. This is the second trade that I'm opening, and I'm sharing the same in the premium group as well. Placed another sell entry. Now this trade I would like to see that, because there is another break of trend line here, and this trend line break, if you look at here, the market is still in a downtrend and looking for the market to break below further here. So you look at the 15 minutes and the 5 minutes price action, which is pretty long weak candlestick, and that looking to see the market to as if you look at the previous one was long week, in that it might go up here, and the possibility for the price action to drop again to this support is higher. And we can see there is a 1 hour candle close. If you look at after this 1 hour candle close, there was a pretty long bearish price action has formed, and what we are looking at here, a potential weak fill back below. This is the second trade, and this trade I might not run very long because I would like to secure this one. We had the previous one 60 pip, 30 to 40 pip. I will be happy to take as soon as the market drops back down here. Getting another rejection, and off this level looking to see the market to this might be acting this is some trade might think it's an order block, but I would say it's more of a fake out here in that area and looking for the market to return down here back below. And we see there is a drop 37.47, right? Cool. And we are at 50.42 pip, and I'm going out with this one as well. Okay, I'm out, and I would like to take 2 secure position here of this zone here. That has keep coming down. This might continue to drop further back below to this level, but I would like to take it easy, right? We have more position to open. 2 trades in a row. Thank you very much. That was quick, yes. Now I would like to see how many members have got benefit from this. It's come down here. That's what we can see. It is straight drop to that support level, to the profit target. I got out earlier. It's fine for me. I've got another big move in that direction here. And now we see there was a false breakout again. The same concept being applied here. The false breakout to the profit target. Now, if you look at here, this was, if you look at upside of this trend line break, all right, more often you'll see that this kind of break of trend line is false break, right? It's a false break, and we can see the market has reacted to that abruptly back below to the key support area. Cool. 2 massive win. Let's have one loud music for our celebration, and then we'll be looking for again entry as Kevin Walsh is coming for kind of, I think, I'm not sure there will be long speech or short speech, but there is some kind of statement coming in that's gonna making the market pretty volatile. And before we go to that, let's start the music here and then take a deep breath, looking for the next one. Don't leave out here. Make sure that you take the profit and then wait for the next one. I think it should trade 24/7 for us after taking these 2 profit trade. I'm always here, guys. I trade long hours. I love trading, but coming on live twice every single day in London as well as in NY session. The goal here is to make sure that we are maintaining consistency in our trading. That's what we are looking at. We see that after the false breakout, the market has rejected back below here and might create a new lower low now. Thank you very much. Now we still have 1.5 hours for this session, and we have just taken 2 trades. If we can find more, we will be trading more, and keep learning, keep growing, keep watching. There is a lot to take. The goal here is, guys, you might making profit here, and that's fine. I'm really happy to see that, but keep a goal to learn to trade, right? To learn to trade, to become an independent trader. How many of you want to be an independent trader? Right? That's what the goal is, so that you can learn and grow as a trader. And I will be sharing some of the tricks and tips that I have never talked about. Make sure you stick till then and take notes for those important points that we'll be discussing. Thank you very much. Thank you for the call. Okay, now let's move on to the next level of trading. Now, if we look at here, this is where you can see the market started to trend here, crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, and the market is still maintaining that downtrend. So you have taken that two large positions here in that area, and with these two large positions, that if you look at, the market has shown its momentum in this zone here. Now we see that the price has just been overextended below this level here of this zone. If you look at, and with this overextension below this zone on XAUUSD, the price now slowly trying to move up of this level. For us to look for the next trade planning, how we can look at the next one, always traders make sure the trade with the trend. This is a very old school concept, but that's where the market, because the market is a product of thinking. Keep in mind, this is another very important, like the thinking is why the market is a product of thinking. Let's understand the trading psychology. Keep in mind that 50% of your trading success depend on your trading psychology, and the rest of the 50% is divided into risk management, technical analysis, all other factors. So it carries almost half of your trading success of your trading psychology. It's a very important point to look at. So if you look at that, why it is so important to have a trading psychology is because keep in mind that a smart trader doesn't have their own mind. This is a very, very interesting concept. Smart trader thinks what other traders are thinking. You see, that's the difference, because most traders have their own opinion, but a smart trader doesn't have their own opinion. They think what other traders are thinking. So what other traders are thinking, let's understand that. Okay. See, this is called the whirlpool, right? That's how the thinking works. 9 out of 10 of thinking is repetitive. So that's why the market also repeats its structure, because it's all the thinking and belief of the traders, right? So the whirlpool is where the continuation of the repetitive thinking. And if we look at our brain, because if you want to get a better trading psychology, also you need to look at the brain, right? And that brain is also the firing of neuron, because the way we think and act, feel the neuron also fired. And that's also, if you look at that, the energetic channel, right? Because how a person think, act, the energy also flow, because the energy takes the path of least resistance. What was thinking yesterday, there was a neuron fired or together, two neurons, so it's an easy bridge for the for the energy to pass through, right? And that's why sometimes it becomes difficult to break that whirlpool. But if you can consciously change those thinking patterns, some people, so here we need to use the will, power of will, to break those neural connections. So that's why you see that some people are very good at directly changing that thinking instantly and thinking differently. All of a sudden the whirlpool changes to a different one, and that's why you start to jump from one state to the other state. Some people also say it as a quantum jump, is because you suddenly change your thinking, and your whirlpool changes to a different frequency, right? That's what you can change your trading psychology accordingly by adopting this process of, and at the same time as a trader, understanding that how traders also will be thinking. Here, why the market drop off this order block of this breakup structure is because this is a trend line of this structure here, and that trend line of this structure, when the market has broken out of this trend line, there is a confusion has created, and that's where there will be buyers and sellers. For the market to move, there has to be buyer and seller. The more nearly to the equal, the better trade happens. So if you look at, for example, when the market was here, okay, everyone is thinking the market will drop, but when it is here, some people think the market will go up because there's a break of trend line. Some think the market will go down, but those who have a higher volume, they will go down. So you have here buyer and seller both. So there is a market, because imagine that you are in a market where everyone is selling. Can you create a market there? If you go to the market, no one is buying, everyone is selling, or everyone is buying, there is no seller. So when there is a two directional bias, that's why the market moves, and you can see drop to that level. We only understand English, please. Thank you very much. Short buy, sir. Thank you. Okay. Short buy. No, I'm not trading against the trend. The key here is to look for trading with the trend. So you have another red folder news. So you have seen that here there is, I think, Trump. We are in a very strong negotiating position with Iran. Trump, we are in a very strong negotiating position with Iran. Okay, so this is some the information. So we'll see that where it is heading, and so here with this double top that you can see here, the market is trying to create a structural pattern in that area. It's now we can see there is a narrow consolidation formation here in this area, and that narrow consolidation might bring further trading opportunity. In a downtrend, when you see this kind of consolidation, is basically a potential for another drop. And from the 30 minutes that I would be looking to see that there potentially be another sell zone that being formed here, and why not taking further more trade if the market is displaying me a few more position. As with the current volatility, there is a higher price action confirmation here that we can see in this area. So looking at the 1 minute chart here, you can see that quite a few narrow doji. This is a very now narrow consolidation, that one candle range. That one candle range usually shows a possibility for breakup structure and then to resume its trend. So it's trying to push back here, and I'm looking to see for some additional entry. Once it appears, you have taken 2 trades. And so what concept do you trade, SMC or something else? So bias is short. Yes, bias is still short. It might go for a now deeper pullback. And okay, good question. What concept that we'll be using? If you look at the lower time frame, market structure showing further upside. This is the current level of resistance. Going back up might bring new opportunity. What concept I am trading, SMC or something else? Okay, so we'll be looking at that. And I would like to also you know that 2 famous concept now the traders trade. One is SMC, there is ICT. So I would like to ask with a poll. Let's see that who likes what, and I will be also sharing my favorite one, and also how I trade either SMC, ICT or both. But what is your favorite that I would like to see? Not only me, everyone. So share your favorite system. I'll be placing one option is SMC. The other one is ICT. All right, so I've shared two options. There's a poll. If you guys just press that button to see that what's your favorite system. So I see most of them saying ICT so far, just 3 votes, but I would appreciate if you just cast a vote to see. Okay, so 75% now is nearing to the 1-1. Okay, it's going up. If you guys just 60-40 now. Okay, it's going up. Very good, thank you. Can you make more votes to see that actually what favorite concept is yours? And how do you can see the market of this now, it is going for another break of structure, and that's key to look at, because with this break of structure going back to this 4-hour resistance, important area that you can see. Rejection of this level that you can see, and you can see the market is approaching that level. Series of lower high, if you look at here, this is and there is a trend line has created. If you look at here of this level, this is an upside bias to this zone. And off this level, if you look at the market, might retest that. But if it drops this way, there is still having rejection, and we'll be looking to see if we can look for entry, because would like to see a little stronger bearish move. The first two sessions we have taken the position here, and we are looking for further entry opportunity later today in this market. We have taken two important position here, looking for the market to give us another trading opportunity in this area. With a pretty long week candlestick pattern that you can see of this level. It's getting a rejection here. So here, if you look at the 30 minutes candle closed with the price tested the 10 EM and getting rejection. So that means this market may still remain bearish. I'm looking at the 15 minutes candlestick pattern. That is also forming a doji. So going back up again can create a selling opportunity again. The market is still selling pressure in the market. So we are looking for still selling once we can see the price action confirmation. Here you saw that there was a drop, and this market might go again back above to that zone. How do you identify the bias so correctly? Okay. So the bias is based on, the market follow a really predictable pattern, because especially from the key area of value, and it's based on experience. Every day, if you look at that, I'm trading live almost nearly to 4 hours each day for years of time, along with 8 to 10 hours each day I'm trading in the live market. That has given this, that's why, because it's the world is, guys, is mostly based on experience. Experience is, if you look at the workplace, have you seen that? Everywhere look for experience. People more often disregard the educational background and give a big advantage for the experience, because experience is where you saw the what really things happens. Now, so that means, do you need that much of experience to become a trader, effective trader? The answer is no. See that? The light bulb that Thomas Edison invented, made 1000 failed attempt. On the 1001, the bulb started to light up, right? So now you don't have to reinvent the light bulb again. You can do it in one attempt, because you have seen that the mechanism, the formula, the strategy. Trading is like that. So that's where focus, right? Look at you see that when, and that's why I mentioned that take notes will be helpful. Look at this one here, trend line. You see the market has broken out of the trend line and dropped to that support. Now when it is going to that zone, I'm not that much of excited to sell. So keep in mind, most trader think that, okay, this is where the past, when I started beginner, that's what I have learned, that when people were interested to sell off this level, sell again from that. But in fact, the market doesn't work that way, because always look at the fresh, new, overbought or oversold level that violates the original direction of the trend, and then sell or buy based on that. That's a very important point. Now you can see the market is pushing high until we see that a clear directional bias. Here we are looking at to see in fact where it is heading. Secure 2 positions, and still more to come, because today is a day of mostly a volatile day, and I would like to delete all those lines, and we'll be looking at from the beginner mindset. This is what I call the beginner mindset. Let's forget everything. The market was in a downtrend or was in an uptrend. It is now a new market. Always renew yourself. Okay, this is the hardest thing, letting go. Letting go is the most powerful thing that you can ever build, because we think that letting go means that I became less because I have let go something. Actually, you are not becoming less. Why? Because this universe, okay, 99 point something more percentage is actually dark matter and dark energy that cannot be seen. So no matter how much you let go, you actually filled with more and more abundance. So letting go doesn't mean you lose something. You actually renew something. That is called letting go, because there is always an empty space. So when you let go, you actually filling your cup again. It cannot be empty. Empty means that actually you renew again and again and again. So let go and look at that here in the current market structure in this area. And here we will be looking for further entry opportunity. Let's see that. If you look at here, the market structure has, after few times dropping down back below, that you can see it. This is a very stronger impulse back to the upside here. So usually I do not sell this kind of impulse. Why? You saw that we have sold here. Which one? This one here. This breakup structure. I would like to do the 1 minute chart, because this break was not that much of strong. If you look at now, the current breakup structure is what you can see, that it's a very stronger bullish impulse. So that bullish impulse could drive the market further up, or you could see. So this is now got back to a 50-50 probability of that move. So let's look at here. So you're nearing to the resistance line from the 4 hour. If you look at, it's almost reached the previous session's high, and this is the 4 hour candle closing as well, which is basically forming pretty long doji. It might create a doji here depending on how the candle close, and then the market could push back up or come back down again. From the daily, we can see still it is signaling potential bearish. So breaking out of that level, and with this break of this level, that you can see the market might cross this here, that resistance line, and we are looking to see the price action to cross this high. This is one single move, and if you look at the 4-hour close coming in 10 to 15 minutes, and with the there is an event, I think that in 10 minutes, so that could increase the volatility, but we will just renewing our potential sentiment. Also, you need to look at here in the market. Look at the sentiment, will give you better understanding of the so last one that we have seen in an hour, that was a statement from Trump, said we are in a very strong negotiating position with Iran. So that is one. So this is, I think, from this event. In terms of speak, and that is means that there is the negotiation going, and also if the negotiation ends to any specific outcome. Okay, and I would like to as we have secured total 3 trades in this live session, 2, 1 in the premium group. Also traders, we had quite a few members on board on premium. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. Stay connected in the free Telegram channel. Whenever there is a spots available to join the premium group, you can do so. At the moment, we have the free Telegram channel link, where I also share many of my content that I'm sharing every single day, updates and everything. So stay connected, joining the free Telegram, where also you can get more updates of our regular trade setup, and also many of the trade ideas. So whenever you have that free Telegram, like the premium Telegram, as well as the course content available for you to access, you might get information there. So make sure you stay connected in that free Telegram channel for regular update. Now, going back here on this zone here that you can see of this consolidation pattern, the market might, if you look at here, might now come back below, because this green candle that you can see, this zone here is comparatively stronger bullish pressure here in that area. That might drive that market potentially back here, which is a higher area of value. And that's a very important zone that you will be looking at for another potential drop here back below. So the smaller candles means that there is a slight drop in the volume. That is another sign of again volume will come, because the market does that. And also you know that the market only trade 30% of the time. 70% of the time the market move in a sideways. So that's why finding a trending phase is a matter of patience, and that's where you start to become a good trader. So one market always try to avoid, not try to, must avoid, is the market that is one candle range, right? So if you look at here, this is one candle range, right? It's one or two candle range. See, we didn't enter inside the range, we entered break from the, both of this trade from the break of the range. And if you look at, this is also one candle range. If you are this is, I wouldn't consider, because this was not trend, but these two are range. So for example, this one also range. And the best entry comes after an extended range and then from the breakup structure. So I have seen few answers of this poll that posted. What is your favorite system? SMC 64%, ICT 36%. So ending that poll, you guys can see that. Now let's come back to that question, which one I usually trade. Okay, firstly, depending on the market context, I trade both, because the goal here is, as a trader, is to trade profitably. So the market gives us sometime better entry on SMC and also sometime better entry on ICT. However, you can combine both. Okay, so I have also a separate lesson that I posted, I think a couple of months ago in the channel, explaining how both you can combine ICT and SMC. Now, what is SMC? SMC means that, you know, smart money concept. Very simple. Smart money concept, SMC. Smart money concept means that how the smart money trade the market and look at the market. The first thing is that when you trade like the SMC or the SMC concept, you are aligning your trade with the smart money. And the smart money never loses, okay? Because if the smart money loses, they also have losing trade, but over the long term, they cannot sustain if the smart money loses. Therefore, smart money wins, and if you trade like a smart money, align your trade with the smart money, you also gonna be winner. And you can combine SMC with the ICT. The only thing that you need to make sure if you are following the ICT is the sessions high low, daily high low. Look for the session and daily high low, and keep eye for London session. So to trade with the ICT, you have to have a very good concept about the sessions volume, sessions high low, wait for the break of daily low, daily high, and then combine with the break of structure. You're gonna always have better trading opportunity, no matter what time frame you are trading. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or even 4 hours. So we are almost nearing to end of this 1 hour candlestick pattern, not end of this live session. You still have something more to look at the market. It's just the beginning, not the ending. So we are looking at, if you look at, this is the 1 hour that the market is approaching, that both 10 and 20 MA. Okay, with 2 long wick doji, that might create some bearish pressure here, but because there was a stronger momentum to the upside, I'll be waiting for that here. Okay, so with this break, it might range here for a bit of while, what I think, because there was a stronger, if you look at here, a bullish move. So there is a buyers here, and with the 1 hour close, and also this is the 4 hour candle close, that if you look at, this is the 4 hour candle close, and 4 hour candle close are important because that might, with this 4 hour candle close, it's creating a doji. So the price action might here try to fill the wick in any direction. So there's a candle close coming, and this is gonna be here. If you look at the 1 minute again, it's almost, the market has dropped to this. So this candlestick pattern that you can see closing as a 4 hour red bearish engulfer, closing as a red candle, signaling further drop. That might be, look at the daily here, starting of this daily candle was liquidity, so that's, therefore it's keep coming in this direction here. For our candle close, and you can see the market has melted back below here with this candle close, and really looking to see how the market is potentially evolving here. And there is, if you look at the 4 hour close, the market has tested this lower part and try to push back here. I think that for this move again in this area, Alrighty, so we are just beginning to see new 1 hour candlestick pattern, and in this hour the market might trade now to reflect that structure that has formed. So this 4 hour support test, the market now try to here what I think to fill that upper shadow, and daily price action here so far bearish, so going up here can create selling pressure, and this is what we will be looking here in this session. This might try to go back up here to fill some of this imbalance here in this market. It's going up here and pushing that market back above. Getting ready for another entry, and we would like to see that there is a significant liquidity sweep happens of this level here. Looking at also the current geopolitics, and I think there is a Federal Reserve Chair nominee Kevin Warsh testifies at Senate confirmation here. Okay, so here we can see there is a significant consolidation, and with this break below from this level here, the market has dropped to that. This is a one single big move back down to the support, and we can see that there is now a pullback wave. This is a pullback wave, and that pullback wave might go ahead and retest this neckline and then continue to drop or go little higher. Now, as we can see that 4 hour just candle, new candle open, so we are looking for that price action potentially to go ahead and fill this zone here. It might fill that zone and then drop, or we might see that without feeling that the market to drop. So here for us now at the moment, the safe trading level is to keep always our TP target to the session's low, right? And 1 hour price action after this doji, if the market goes up to fill some of this imbalance here, that can create another bearish pressure in this area. something has got deleted. I think probably pressed by, so you can write on a different language maybe. Okay, so off this level the market is now trying to break that low for us to look for another entry, which is still possible. We have opened 2, and even once we see the market is showing up, why not 3? Okay, to get to the 3 we are looking at high probability setup. This always I look at the high probability trade setup. Okay, this is where we need to look at. The key points is to look at the high probability entry. Another doji here. So looking at this 15 minutes candlestick pattern, we can see the first 15 minutes candle closing in few minutes, and that 15 minutes candle close is important because how this one is closing also determine if the next one is going to go ahead and hit, or we could see that another down back here below. And I'm looking at the multiple time frame analysis that the price action here slowly creating a semicircular structure. And usually this kind of structure should be breaking below here, but with the first 50 minutes candle close, you still can expect another false breakout and then to trend. Might be going to that direction for potentially another false breakout. So it didn't create the false breakout, but we might see, and if it creates that false breakout and then it starts to drop, can give us another selling opportunity potentially in that zone. Could see the market to potentially break this high. So we are looking to see the market after this long doji, the market trying to break below, but until we see the false breakout above this level, and I will be waiting for that to happen, because the patience is key. And the candlestick pattern is, we want to see the larger and bigger candlestick pattern. That means with higher volume for us to find a sell signal. You can see that here, the one that we have opened 2 trades today, closed in profit. If you look at this one here, you can see the price action was identical, right? This one here and the other one is in both direction, both one just after the news. The price action was identical. Price action is very important to look at. You can see that here as well, the same and the same situation, but the market structure, that means the price action, the candlestick pattern is smaller. That means there's less volume in the market. And with the current market structure, if you look at that, you see when trading on lower time frame, this is another advantage of having multiple trading opportunity within a short period of time. But you need to be able to select the key zone for that entry. You can see that 4 hour here, which is a very important zone, to be able to select the key zone for that entry. And once you can see that, you cannot unsee that, of course. So it's easy for later to enter more trades along the way. So you can see that here the market has primarily created an initial false breakout, not much. So that might slowly create a structure to drop here, or we could see something like that and then to drop. What's your bias here on gold? I'd like to start with a pull again. Do you think it's gonna break below or it's gonna bounce back up? With the current price action, what is your bias on gold? And I have shared a pool. So let's see that what majority of the traders on this one. Do you think it's gonna break below or it's gonna go up to cross this box here? You can see the market is trying to penetrate in both direction. So triangle here, you can see. Can come back like that, creating a head and shoulder. It can come back down here. And the current level 4782 can be an important zone that might give the potential selling pressure in that area. And if you look at it, the price slowly breaking that low. See the 10 bots. So from this support, you can see the market is slowly trying to move up here, and this is a support and resistance in this area. Yeah, so it may try to go back again for another breakout here. And with a 1 hour doji, the price action now trying to fill the lower shadow. So it has created a, you can see this is a new candle. It has created an equal length in both direction. So because the volume here is down, so we are seeing that downside pressure here in this market, and that downside pressure may break further low here to this support area. We are looking at here this market to trend back down in this zone. So if you look at traders here, we are looking at this market from a now trend perspective. We can see that off this support, we'll be waiting for a false breakout again for another entry. 3 trades we have opened, and 3 of them have taken with profitable entry. And it's still, we still in the beginning of the NY session, is still London session going on, NY session going on, and we'll be looking for more entries later today with anytime the setup is coming, is still trading. And I do share all the trade in the premium group. For those who are in the premium group, you can keep eye for any trade update being shared in the premium group. Currently premium entry is full, so whenever it appears, usually make sure you join live session every day, where you can get a chance to enter in the premium group from this live session whenever it appears. Also, you can stay connected to the free Telegram, where also the promotion is being shared whenever appeared. It is almost at the end of this live session, not the end of this session. And tomorrow also I'm coming on live twice to trade the market live with all of you traders. Later today, if any trade that I am opening, also sharing with the full breakdown and analysis, it will be posted in the channel, so don't miss out that one as well. And that being said, thanks for joining here. Now see you again very soon, trading live. Until that, stay well, stay happy.